Have you ever looked at a simple bowl of fruit or a glass of juice and wondered, could something so healthy actually be quietly damaging your kidneys? It sounds impossible, right? But every single day, millions of people unknowingly overload their bodies with hidden potassium. And when that level rises too high, it can strike the heart like a sudden storm, causing irregular beats, muscle weakness, even cardiac arrest. Most people never see it coming until it's too late. That's the silent danger of potassium imbalance. It doesn't shout, it whispers until the damage is already done. But here's the part that gives hope. Protecting your kidneys isn't about fear or endless restriction. It's about learning how to choose the right foods, the ones that nourish your body, support your heart, and keep your potassium levels steady without losing flavor or joy. I'm Dr. Johnny. And today I'm going to show you 15 low potassium foods that not only protect your kidneys, but help you feel stronger, clearer, and more alive. Stay with me because understanding this could change the way you eat and the way you age forever. When most people first hear the words low potassium diet, they panic. They imagine a life without fruit, no bananas, no oranges, no joy. I've seen it hundreds of times in my clinic. One patient, a retired teacher named Linda, came to me holding a list of foods she thought she could never eat again. She said, "Dr. Johnny, if I follow this list, what's left to enjoy?" I smiled and told her, "Plenty, because the truth is not all fruits are your enemy. See, your body still needs vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants to repair and protect kidney cells. Cutting out every fruit is like closing every window in your house. You might keep the dust out, but you'll also block the light and fresh air your body needs to heal." So let's talk about the 3 fruits that bring back flavor, freedom, and healing without sending your potassium levels soaring. First, blueberries, tiny, powerful, and loaded with antioxidants that calm inflammation throughout your body. They're like little blue shields protecting your kidneys from oxidative stress, the same kind of damage that slowly wears down filtering cells over time. And here's the best part. Blueberries are naturally low in potassium and sugar, making them the perfect snack even if you're watching your blood levels closely. If fresh berries or pricey frozen ones work just as well, they keep their nutrients and taste like summer all year long. Next, pears. Gentle on digestion, rich in fiber, and beautifully hydrating. Their soluble fiber acts like a sponge, helping your body flush out toxins and waste products that your kidneys struggle to remove. In one study published by the National Kidney Foundation, people who included moderate fruit fiber like pears and apples had significantly better kidney filtration rates over time. It's a reminder that nature often hides medicine inside sweetness, and then apples humble, crisp, and quietly powerful. They don't just lower potassium intake. Their pectin fibers can help reduce cholesterol and blood sugar spikes that put pressure on your kidneys in the first place. When you think about it, every bite of an apple is like a small act of maintenance for your heart and your kidneys at the same time. So yes, fruit is not the enemy. It's the balance, the portion, and the type that make the difference. These low potassium fruits, blueberries, pears, and apples, prove that you can still enjoy sweetness, color, and life itself while keeping your kidneys safe. But only knowing this isn't enough, because there's another category of foods that can quietly raise your potassium levels, even when you think you're eating healthy, and that's where most people go wrong. If fruits bring color and sweetness to life, then vegetables are the quiet healers, the daily medicine most people underestimate. But here's the mistake I see all the time. Someone gets told to follow a low potassium diet, and suddenly they stop eating vegetables altogether. They think avoiding greens will protect their kidneys. In reality, that's the fastest way to make your body weaker. I once had a patient named Marcus, a 62-year-old truck driver, who came to me exhausted, losing muscle, and convinced he was saving his kidneys by cutting out all veggies. He was shocked when his blood work came back worse. Why? Because by removing vegetables, he also removed fiber, antioxidants, and the natural alkaline compounds that keep kidneys from overworking. So let's fix that myth right now. Not all vegetables are high in potassium, and some are not just safe but therapeutic. The key is to know which ones work with your kidneys, not against them. Let's start with peas. Small, humble, but incredibly powerful. Peas are a plant-based source of protein with very low potassium compared to beans or lentils. They're also loaded with antioxidants and B vitamins that support cellular repair. In fact, research from the Journal of Renal Nutrition shows that moderate plant protein intake can actually lower inflammation markers in chronic kidney disease patients. So next time you're craving something hearty, toss peas into your soups or salads, they're comfort food that heals. Then there's kale, the comeback green that never lost its crown. Once labeled a superfood, kale is still one of the most nutrient-dense veggies you can eat. Iron, vitamin C, calcium, and yes, low potassium when eaten fresh. The secret, don't overcook it. Massage it gently with olive oil, garlic, and a pinch of salt, and it turns into a vibrant, tender base that supports your blood pressure and fights oxidative stress. Your kidneys love that balance. And finally, cabbage, the underrated hero of the vegetable world. Cabbage is cheap, accessible, and full of sulfur compounds that support detoxification. Studies from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who regularly ate cruciferous vegetables like cabbage had lower rates of kidney function decline. It's also hydrating, light, and perfect for both raw salads and warm soups. Simple, honest food that your body recognizes instantly. So yes, you can and should eat vegetables, but the right ones in the right way. Because when you do, you're not just feeding your body, you're teaching it how to repair itself. But only knowing this isn't enough, because even if you master the fruits and vegetables, there's another category that hides more potassium than most people ever realize. And it's the one almost everyone eats every single day without knowing. We've talked about fruits that bring sweetness and vegetables that bring healing. But here's where things get tricky: protein. Because for many people with kidney issues, this is where the confusion begins. Most of my patients believe that meat is the safest way to get strong without too much potassium. And that's where I always have to pause them. Because what they don't realize is that many types of meat, especially red meat and seafood, actually hide more potassium than you'd expect. I'll never forget one patient, an active 58-year-old named Robert. He switched from burgers to grilled salmon, thinking he was doing everything right. But when we checked his labs, his potassium had spiked again. The problem wasn't the seasoning, it was the protein source itself. That's when I showed him 3 kidney-friendly swaps that completely changed his numbers and his energy. First, tofu. Don't roll your eyes, I used to think it was bland too. But tofu is one of the cleanest, lowest potassium proteins you can eat, and it absorbs flavor like magic. Marinate it in garlic, soy, and olive oil, then bake or grill, and it becomes a powerhouse for plant protein. A study from Nutrients Journal found that replacing just 2 meat meals a week with tofu lowered potassium and phosphorus levels significantly in chronic kidney patients without sacrificing muscle mass. Second, canned tuna, an underrated classic. It's convenient, lean, and low in potassium compared to most fresh fish. The key is to pick the versions packed in water, not oil, and check for sodium or phosphate additives on the label. 1 or 2 servings a week give you clean protein that fuels your body without overloading your kidneys. And finally, eggs, nature's perfect protein package. Affordable, versatile, and low in potassium eggs supply essential amino acids that help your body rebuild tissue and maintain muscle strength as you age. Scrambled, boiled, or poached, each bite supports recovery without stressing your renal filters. Even the Mayo Clinic proceedings highlight that moderate egg intake is linked to improved muscle retention and better metabolic health for adults over 60. So yes, you need protein, but it's the type and balance that decide whether it heals or harms. Smart swaps like tofu, tuna, and eggs prove that kidney health doesn't mean giving up strength, it means upgrading the source. But only knowing this isn't enough, because the next group of foods seems healthy, looks innocent, yet can quietly overload your body before you even realize it, and most people never see it coming. By now you might be thinking, all right, Dr. Johnny, I've swapped my meats, I've added the right veggies. Can I at least enjoy a handful of nuts? It's a fair question, because nuts have this reputation for being the ultimate heart food. They're rich in healthy fats, plant protein, and brain protective compounds. But here's the twist most people miss. Not all nuts are kidney-friendly. I remember a woman named Teresa, 65, active, walk 3 miles every morning. She came to me proud of her new healthy routine every night. Before bed, she'd snack on 2 big handfuls of mixed nuts. Her blood work told a different story. Her potassium levels had crept dangerously high, and she couldn't understand why. The truth is, many nuts like almonds and pistachios are packed with potassium, great for most people, but risky for someone whose kidneys are already struggling to balance electrolytes. When your kidneys slow down, even small things start to stack up, and potassium is one of them. So what's the smart move? Portion control and the right choice of nuts. And there are three that I recommend to almost every kidney patient I see. Walnuts rich in omega-3 fats that reduce inflammation and protect blood vessels, yet surprisingly lower in potassium compared to other nuts. They also help lower bad LDL cholesterol, taking pressure off your heart, which, by the way, is your kidney's closest ally. Then there are cashews, creamy, satisfying, and lower in potassium than most nut varieties. They're loaded with magnesium, a mineral that helps regulate nerve signals and muscle contractions, reducing those nighttime cramps that often plague kidney patients. And finally, peanuts, simple, familiar, and yes, technically legumes, but they deserve their spot here. They're affordable, full of heart-healthy fats, and safe in moderate amounts. One study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who replaced high-potassium snacks with small servings of peanuts improved both blood pressure and kidney markers within 12 weeks. So yes, you can still enjoy your favorite crunchy snack, just with mindfulness. Measure, don't mindlessly munch. A small handful can heal, but 2 or 3 handfuls can harm. The difference between medicine and poison is always the dose. But only knowing this isn't enough, because even if you've mastered your snacks, there's still one more thing, the kind of drink that could silently undo all your progress. And almost everyone from fitness lovers to seniors makes the same mistake every single day. We've talked about the foods on your plate now. Let's talk about what's in your glass. Because sometimes it's not what you eat that hurts your kidneys. It's what you drink. I once had a patient named George. He'd done everything right, switched to low-potassium veggies, cut back on meat, even started eating blueberries every morning. But his potassium levels still climbed. When I asked him what he drank each day, he smiled and said, "Doctor, just orange juice and coconut water because they're natural." That's when I knew the culprit. See, many healthy drinks are secretly packed with potassium. Orange juice, milk, sports, drinks V8, even coconut water. They sound pure, but for someone with sensitive kidneys, they can flood the bloodstream with more potassium than the body can clear. It's like overfilling a bathtub. When the drain is half clogged, eventually it spills over. The science backs it up. Studies from the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases show that beverages high in potassium additives can raise blood potassium faster than solid foods because liquids absorb more quickly into your bloodstream. That's why you can feel fine one moment and dizzy, weak, or lightheaded just hours later. So what should you drink instead? It's simpler than you think. Plain water, still the undefeated champion. Hydrating, cleansing, and perfectly safe for most kidney patients when balanced with medical guidance. Then there's black coffee, low in potassium, full of antioxidants, and linked in multiple studies to improved kidney filtration rates when consumed moderately. And brewed tea, gentle, soothing, and supportive for blood circulation without the potassium overload found in juice or milk. These three, water, coffee, and tea, are your safe trio. They hydrate, energize, and keep your electrolyte balance steady without sabotaging your kidneys. But here's something few people realize. Hydration isn't just about what you drink, it's about how you drink. Sipping steadily through the day allows your kidneys to flush toxins gradually, like a steady river, rather than a flood that forces them to overwork. Think of it as rhythm. Your kidneys move to the beat of balance. So yes, sometimes healing isn't about new superfoods or supplements. It's about mastering the simple daily rituals that your body quietly depends on. But only knowing this isn't enough, because there's one more factor deeper than diet, more powerful than any food or drink, that decides whether your kidneys repair or decline. And that final truth might change the way you see aging and health forever. You see, healing your kidneys isn't just about what you eat or drink, because food and hydration are only half of the story. The other half lives in something you can't see under a microscope. It's what I call the silent pressure, the lifestyle choices that quietly wear your kidneys down day after day. Lack of sleep, constant stress, skipping movement. All of these things force your kidneys to work harder than they should, even if your diet is perfect. I once treated a nurse named Emily. She worked long night shifts, drank black coffee to stay awake, and tried to follow every kidney-friendly food rule I gave her. Yet her kidney function kept dipping. When we looked closer, it wasn't the food, it was her rhythm. She was sleeping barely 4 hours a night. Her stress hormones were through the roof. And here's what most people don't know: when cortisol, your main stress hormone, stays high for too long, it narrows blood vessels inside your kidneys, reducing filtration and increasing inflammation. Research from the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that chronic stress can accelerate kidney aging by up to 30% even without major dietary changes. That means your mindset, your rest, your peace, they're medicine too. So if you're trying to protect your kidneys, start thinking beyond the plate. Take slow breaths before meals, walk after dinner, turn off your screens 30 minutes before bed, and most importantly, give your body the rest it's been begging for. Because when your mind relaxes, your blood pressure drops, your hormones reset, and your kidneys finally get the quiet space they need to heal. Food repairs the body, but calm repairs the system that keeps it running. And when you combine both, that's when regeneration truly begins. But only knowing this isn't enough, because in the end, there's one final truth that ties everything together. The mindset shift that decides whether you simply manage kidney disease or truly reverse the damage and rebuild your strength for the years ahead. You've made it all the way here, and that already tells me something powerful. You care about your health. You care about your kidneys. And that's the first step toward healing that no medicine can replace. So remember this: every small change you make today, one meal, one glass of water, one night of better sleep adds up. You don't need perfection, you need progress. Your kidneys are remarkably resilient. Give them the right food, the right rest, and they'll start to thank you in ways you can feel: more energy, clearer mind, steadier heart. If this video helped you understand your body a little better, do something kind for yourself right now. Hit the save button so you can come back to it anytime. And make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell icon, because every week I share new doctor-backed tips to help you protect, restore, and strengthen your kidneys naturally. No fear, no confusion, just real science and real hope. And before you go, take a moment to breathe. You're not alone in this journey. You're learning, you're healing, and you're moving forward. Because age is not decline, it's your second chance to rebuild if you understand what your body needs. I'm Dr. Johnny. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll take one more step toward a healthier, stronger you.